So the ingredients we're going to need for our black-eyed peas, which is our lobia ki sabzi, is of course our black-eyed beans, which look like that. And I just soaked 2 cups of black-eyed beans in water, and it's been soaking for about 12 hours, so it's been soaking for a while. And the reason I soak them longer is so that I don't have to put them in the pressure cooker for too long. If you don't soak them and just soak them for like an hour, 2 hours, then you'd have to cook them in the pressure cooker for longer. I did 1 green chili, 2 dried up red chilies, 3 small tomatoes, 2 medium-sized onions, garlic and ginger paste, some asafoetida, and then some jeera seeds, which look like that. And that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my pressure cooker. And I'm going to go ahead and put in some salt in there, and then I'll cover it and let it blow 3 whistles, and then open it and make sure that it's cooked to the right consistency. The spices we're going to be using for our black-eyed beans, our lobia, is red chili powder, coriander powder, which is dhania powder, turmeric powder, which is haldi, and then our cumin seed powder, which is our jeera powder. This is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. Just a little bit of salt. A little more. And then just kind of mix it up. And then I'll go ahead and cover it up and then put the stove on high and 3 whistles before I open it. Guys, so the gas is on high and it's gone 3 whistles. I'm going to let it do 1. And then I'm just going to go ahead and turn the gas off and let all the air escape and open it up. Alright, I went ahead and opened it up, and this is what it looks like. Nice and cooked. Let me see if I can grab one for you, but see, like it's super tender. Ooh, super hot. But let me try to grab one. Just like that. And just super mushy. Perfect. So I'm just go ahead and not drain the water, but just put it to the side, and we'll start on the masala and then come back to this. I went ahead and grabbed just a regular sized pan, added some oil in it because we're going to be frying our onions and all that good stuff. I have the gas on high at the moment, and then I'll kind of lower it down as I put as it warms up. And then the first thing we're going to add to the oil once it's nice and warm is the asafoetida, and then our jeera seeds. Alright, we're going to just let these get nice and brown. And then I'll go ahead and add my 2 dried up red chilies. And just let that fry up for a little bit. And then once you see the jeera seeds get a little brown, go ahead and add your onions. Alright, I'm just going to mix all that up and then let my onions get brown. Alright, we're going to just let these get nice and brown. And then I'll go ahead and add my 2 dried up red chilies. And just let that fry up for a little bit. And then once you see the jeera seeds get a little brown, go ahead and add your onions. Alright, I'm just going to mix all that up and then let my onions get brown. Alright, so our onions are kind of midway brown right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add our green chilies to this. Grab my green chilies right here, and we're just going to go ahead and put those in there, and then I'll just mix all of that right up and let them brown a little more. And I just wanted to mention, if you're not a big fan of spicy food, then I would just add the red the dried up red chilies, or just add the green chilies. I mean, when you add both of them, it's definitely going to give the food a kick. And I like my food really spicy, but if you don't want your food that spicy, then you can hold off on the green chilies or the red chilies, or just put like one instead of two, or kind of just tame it down to your own taste. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic and ginger paste. And I just have like a mix of both of them together. So I would say about a teaspoon of garlic and ginger paste, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mix all of this together and let that cook for a little longer, and then we'll go ahead and add our spices. This is what our onions are looking like, nice and brown. Now we can go ahead and add our spices to this. Let me just grab a spoon. Alright, so we're going to do, because remember we added all those chilies, so not too much, about that much of red chili powder. And then a good teaspoon of our coriander powder. About half a teaspoon of haldi powder. And half a teaspoon of our jeera powder. And we'll just go ahead and mix all this up, let it roast for maybe 2 minutes, and then add the tomatoes. Let my masalas, all my spices roast for a little bit, and now I'm ready to add my tomatoes, because we're also ready to add some liquids so the spices even blend a little more. So our 3 tomatoes can all go in there, and then we'll just go ahead and give it a stir. Mix all of that up together, and then I'll go ahead and add some salt. And you got to remember that you added salt to your beans as well, so you don't want to add too much salt. Can always add salt later. So just mix this up. We'll add a little bit of salt, and then I'll go ahead and cover it and let it cook. Onions have been cooking for a little while, my onions and my tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of liquid to this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the water from the beans and go ahead and pour it into my spices. Let me just grab a spoon. Just go ahead and add some of that water in here. And just go ahead and mix it up a little bit. And just let that cook, cover it up and let it cook for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and add all of our beans into this. The spices look nice and blended, they're all blended together. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my beans. I add a little bit of water at a time, so I'll kind of try and add like spoons of the beans first. And then add the water, because I don't want to add too much water and then not be able to take it out. So we're just gonna scoop up our beans, whatever water comes with it is fine. Alright, I'm going to add a little more water to it, and then we'll go ahead and cover it and let it cook till it comes to a boil. So you guys can see what it looks like before I cover it. As you can see, I didn't put all the water in there. There's still a little bit in the pressure cooker, but I put the right consistency that I wanted. If you want more gravy, you can go ahead and add more gravy. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cover this and let it come to a boil, and then you're pretty much done. Just uncovered the pan, and it is looking wonderful. So it's pretty much done. I just tasted it. I added a little more salt because there wasn't enough salt, and mixed it all up. And now we can go ahead and garnish with our coriander leaves. Let me just grab them. So I just chopped like a little bit of coriander leaves, and I'm just going to take this and sprinkle it right on top. There you go. I love coriander leaves, so I use a lot of it because I just think it gives such a good flavor. All right, there you go, and you're all done, ready to serve.